You know we're credible and objective.
It's Hard Facts with Maryann Okon on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Welcome to the Big Hard Facts. Today, Monday, the 15th of July, 2024. I love the month of July. My mother was born in July, and everyone who's born in July is an exceptional human being. I don't know. I don't care. But I love July babies. Anyway, I did promise that we were going to be talking with the former governorship candidate for the Labour Party in Lagos State. Gbadebo is my friend who has abandoned me, but I brought him back. Gbadebo Rhodes-Vivour is the former Labour Party governorship candidate here for Lagos State. And he's also, for those of you who do not know, he's an architect. He does obviously know his work, and he's a man that you say is worth his mettle. He's here in the studio with us today to talk about the state of Lagos. So we're not just going to be talking about the good. We'll talk about the bad and the things that are of concern to you and I. It's so good to have you join us in the studio.
Thank you for having me.
I'm excited to have you join us because I haven't spoken to you since after the elections.
Yeah.
It's good to have you here. But I want to start with the obvious, because whether we like it or not, Lagos is on top of water.
Yeah.
And just this morning, the story that we're getting from experts and, of course, NIMAS is that they've given several warnings over and over again, and governments across the country have not listened. They've also said that, look, there are more floods coming and there's nowhere to run, especially for us who live in Lagos.
Yeah.
I was in Maiduguri when I saw how flooded Lagos was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I just said to myself, oh, that's the island. But then it was the mainland. So, of course, that is something that is a cause for concern.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think that we have continuously found ourselves in this situation year in, year out? Because we have two seasons, dry season and rainy season. And so we're supposed to be prepared.
Yeah.
But why do we always find ourselves
I
here?
feel that our leadership in the last 2 decades has not prioritized our reality, which is that we're a low coastal state.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, we have water should be part and parcel of the culture of Lagos. And
it is, actually.
It should be part and parcel. That is unwillingly. But I'm talking about a willing vision, a willing plan, right? And I think also it's been very unfortunate that the government has consistently passed the buck to the citizenry. The excuses has always been that, oh, you are dumping refuse in the gutters. You are not managing your refuse properly. While that is a fair statement to make, it is a small fraction of the major causes of our flooding, which are haphazard land sand filling. That's usually done by government's friends and the government themselves. Also, you have a situation where the canals are not properly cleared. I highlighted this when, you know, all of this was going on, because it seems, like I said, the government is constantly trying to pass the buck on citizens. If you are not managing and supervising planning and development and building in Lagos, you then come and say, okay, residents are building where canals ought to be and all of that, fine. But the canals that you have built, have they been channeled? Are they clear of weeds, of debris, of plants? And when I highlighted this, you see so many people putting up pictures all over social media of canals in their neighborhoods that are overgrown.
Blocked.
They are blocked. So even when you are talking about a building on a canal, that canal, is it flowing and doing the work it's supposed to? So that's the second thing. 3, we don't have a wetland protection policy. I've been talking about this since the debate.
How so? This was the first capital or second capital of this country. How do we not have that policy?
We don't have a wetland protection policy. We don't have a proactive government that is actually using a wetland protection policy. And we don't have visionary leadership that has seen this problem as a problem that must be resolved to save Lagos. Because the bigger thing that we are talking about is that Lagos is sinking. That's something that people
We're gradually getting to Venice, aren't we? We're gradually becoming Venice.
Lagos is sinking. And this is a very big problem that will touch all of us. Right? So and unfortunately, I don't know whether it's a thing of we just have a short memory span, because every rainy season people complain. We are resilient people, that's fine, but that's also a curse in a way, because if we keep letting government get away with this, then we're just going to keep going in this same cycle until it's too late. Right? It's sinking. So there must be a holistic plan by the government to protect the entire state, right? To ensure that people are not just dredging haphazardly across Lagos State. It must be properly regulated. The dredging must be done in such a way that it's also helping with water transportation system. So these things, so I always talk about holistic visionary planning, and that has been lacking in the Lagos State, with Lagos State government.
I want to ask a layman a very passive question, maybe not passive, but a novice question, because you obviously would know a bit more about town planning than I do. Everyone talks about states like Lagos and several other states having a master plan. Is this not supposed to be immersed into that master plan? Because you're talking about haphazard dredging, and this not being in alignment, because of course you're talking about the waterways, you're talking about, of course we will definitely have to dredge, but how does it affect every other thing? How come that we don't necessarily have this immersed into the Lagos State master plan, which I want to believe we have?
They say we have. They've been saying it, right? You always hear when they feel they've done something good, like for instance, let's say the blue line is now activated and working. They'll put out a statement saying that Governor Sanwo-Olu is staying with this grand master plan that we really haven't really seen. And let us say the things that we've seen is this grand master plan. You are right. Lagos State at this point should be designed like a sponge city. We should not be fighting water. We should be working with water, because it should be part of our culture, right? You have a situation where there's no vision for it. Look at the Oshodi interchange, that terminus. I have to say, when that thing was built, I was proud of Governor Ambody. The pricing was a bit off to my mind, because we were talking between 50 to 70 million. I felt it was overpriced, but it was visionary. Now, to see a train waddling through water in that same place broke my heart, because you had the opportunity to do something holistically. You should, as part of such a grand
But there was
design,
work going on there for a bit, even on the road passing by the interchange. There was some work going on there for a long time. One would have thought that we would have gotten it right.
One would have thought. And it just goes to show you that the idea of water, building sponge cities, being visionary, understanding that Lagos is sinking, understanding that, is a state that by default is prone to flooding. You understand that it has not really been fully assimilated by this government and the entire structures that have been controlling Lagos State for the last 20 plus years.
I mean, government is supposed to be a continuum, and we've had the likes of the former Minister of Power, we've had Ambody, and now Sanwo-Olu.
You see, we've seen
it to Kumbo Wahab also seemingly doing something. I don't want to believe that there is no cohesion per se.
Ideas rule the world. You can be moving very quickly in a circle, and you're not going anywhere. These people have been moving in a circle for the last 20 years, and every rainy season, we complain about the same thing again and again. And that's why I say it's about the vision. And then acting on that vision. We cannot constantly be having conversation about clearing your gutters. Don't throw waste in your gutters. That's not what's going to save.
I don't get tired of it. I have to say it every other year.
It's important. But also another thing that's important is let us cover our gutters.
Thank you for bringing that up. We have these sidewalks that are supposed to be properly covered.
Yes.
Half the time, I wouldn't lie to you, I have trauma walking on those things, because you don't know which one's going to fall in, and the others are open. So people dump refuse in it.
Yeah.
I'm talking about as far as Chevron Junction.
That's just one. You have a situation where across Lagos State, not everybody can afford the services of PSPs. Informal, before I remember, my thesis at MIT was formalizing the informal, a proposal for the waste picker, the informal waste picker in Lagos State, and I got a distinction. Let me just say, but yes,
lovely.
But the point I was trying to make in that thesis was that they must be formalized. You must bring them into the system. Why? Because not everybody can afford Loma services the way they would in Ikoyi or VI or Ikeja. Jeremy Feludu, Mushi, or Joe. These are places that are highly underserved with PSPs, right? So, I mean, there was a video of a lady and her, I don't know, a lady and her partner.
I saw it. Yeah.
Dumping waste in the rain. And I said, yes, this is bad. This is condemnable. People should
This
not
is something that continuously happens in Lagos.
But this is the question. Most Lagosians do not like rain, right? When rain is falling, you see people will stop what they're doing and go and stand under the filling station canopy or find somewhere to stay. What will possess a person to come out and throw their waste away if they believed that waste was going to be picked up? If I know that my waste is going to be picked up tomorrow, why would I come out in the rain to throw it out?
Maybe because I'm used to it and I have a feeling that when the rain falls, it will take the waste someplace and dump it.
No, but a bus or a truck is going to come and pick your waste and go away. Why would I come under the rain to get wet to throw? That's an act of desperation in my mind. It's not fun. It's not like, oh, let's dance in the rain and play with our trash under the rain and throw it out, right? So again, we need a system, a LOMA, PSP, informal network system that plugs into all of this and understands the peculiarities of each local government. We cannot have a one-size-fits-all plan for the entire state, right? Some people will be able to pay those bills, some people will not be able to. That's another one. And then lastly, the value of our waste. I keep saying that aside from our capacity in terms of human capacity, in terms of entrepreneurial drive, the other thing that Lagos has is waste. We produce a lot of waste.
But that's also because we're overpopulated. Yes, we are. We've got a housing deficit. We've got a lot of people sleeping on our street. We've got a lot of people doing number 2 on the street.
Yes.
I mean, look.
No. Having a housing deficit is more an indictment of your government than overpopulation. There are many places in the world that per square kilometer, Lagos is actually underpopulated. I mean, I was in Badagry yesterday. Like, spans.
How many people want to live in Badagry and come to work on the island?
That's an indictment.
There are a lot of people who have to come from Ikorodu and they have to use the boats. But how many people can afford it?
That is also an indictment of the vision and plan for Lagos. Lagos should be decentralized. Companies should be incentivized to be able to set up and have industries and residences grow around these places. Lagos Island is Lagos Island today because of people that invested and built things here. Things came around it. This was since colonialism, right? This is 1800s. Is it not time to have another Lagos Central, in other parts of Lagos? Open up Ikorodu axis, open up the Badagry axis, right? And that is what I'm talking about, decentralizing it. But now we're going into traffic and urban planning, which is still, part of this topic.
I like how you've gotten deep to, give us examples, because it's one thing to criticize and the other to bring solutions. But now that they're telling us that there's nowhere to run and the rains are literally at our doorsteps, the governor spoke about manholes. If you were listening to my show earlier on, I played an audio of the governor talking about planting trees and them going after people who are stealing manholes. They're supposed to protect us. And he talked about the fact that we're also part of the problem, dumping our refuse improperly and blocking up drainages. What can be done in the interim? Because like I said, doomsday is already here.
So I think the lowest hanging fruit right now is to make sure all our canals are cleared properly, right? That's the lowest hanging fruit, and I believe this should be done and powered from the local government councils, the CDAs. Ensure a proper, thorough clearing of our canals. canals carry a lot of waste too, right? So that's a low-hanging fruit for the situation we are in now. I want to see that going on across the entire state simultaneously. Medium to long term, we need to start mechanizing our water and pushing it out. Start getting a situation where you have your dikes, you have your pumps, you have a semi-dam that's able to push water out, especially on the island, right? Have, obviously, wetland protection policy. List out all your wetlands, right? It should be listed. Once you have listed your wetlands, now give it a use, right? Give it a use. Then get the buy-in of the local council in terms of the traditional elites, the obas, the bales. Get them involved. And they should be paid a token, right? Because you are saying that no development can happen in this space. So whether you convert it, like for instance, one beautiful example is the Lekki Conservation Center. It's a wetland, right? And it's been used. Nobody can just encroach and say they want to sand fill.
It's been put to good use.
Put to good use. So those are that's what I mean. It's not just to say don't build here. Though people will always find a way. They'll compromise this person, compromise that person, sand fill, build. So you need to put it to use. Whether I want to create solar farms, whether I want to create wind farms, whether I want to create infiltration systems that actually take in a lot of water tanks, you start processing it, and then from there you can process rainwater and start supplying water to local governments, right? It can be decentralized. You don't have to have a water system that is supplying the whole Lagos state. You can look at it, okay, we're going to collect a lot of water, and this water is going to be prioritized to go to riverine communities that are dealing with very dirty water because they're sandfilled on swamp. So that's just an idea. And there are several others, but you must give it a use. Right, so those are things that can be done very quickly. And then on the long term, we need. I give an example. I was listening to Alhaji Aliko Dangote speaking about how they built his refinery, and he said that they looked at the levels of water, projected levels of water in the next 50 years, and sandfilled based on that. Right, that's
very futuristic.
That is it. Forward-looking, visionary leadership, right? You look at Eco Atlantic, they probably did the same as well. Now, all the other low-lying communities around will be very heavily affected because, like, water is rushing at you. You put a wall, water is going to go on the side of the wall. Very
violently. It will always find its way, yeah.
Yes. So we need a holistic plan that's going to protect the entire shoreline, right? Again, this dredging is really, really doing a number on us. It's eating our boundaries, and the solid land we have is being deteriorated. Because
have you gone around the beach areas? They're flooding like mad.
Yeah.
Especially the ones that they said they want to build the special highway through. Have you gone around there?
It will flood. So obviously they have to do their walling. They have to do these rocks that come out, and then that also reduces the strength of the waves and all that. These are things that need to be done. But again, a holistic plan for the entire state to ensure that it's not just the rich that are safe in Lagos, right? All the indigenous communities all around should also be protected as well. So those are some of the ideas. And then on the long term, I was talking about dikes and having water pumps, mechanized pumps that pump the water out and having the wall. We also need significantly large infiltration systems that can contain the water on the ground, right? Japan has a system that is a collection of tanks that's about 60 meters high by 35 meters wide, linked by 12.4 kilometers of just pathway, and they can pump out, I think, about 200 tons of water a second. Now, the flooding that they're planning for happens every 200 years.
And we have it every other year.
Now, so what I'm saying is vision matters. You look at the Netherlands. I mean, if you're talking about low lying, they are far worse than us.
I mean,
and you see the entire system that they've created. They've learned to live in harmony with water. the entire system is a sponge type of city. Sponge in the sense that it can absorb water without causing damage because it's been designed to do that. And that's where we need to get to.
Yeah. I like how we're breaking this down for the average person. If you're just joining us, the program is Hard Facts, 99.3 Nigeria Info. We're broadcasting live from our audiovisual studios right here in Ituiyen Crescent, Victoria Island, Lagos. My name is Maryann Okon. My guest, Gbadebo Rhodes-Vivour, is here with me in the studio. And we're talking about the state of Lagos. Yes, especially now that we've got the rains. But let's move away from that briefly and talk about the politics of Lagos State. A former governorship candidate for the ADC has been one of those who has been holding the government of this state at the jugular. And he's matching them fact for fact and asking questions. And I see that you also do the same. One of the biggest stories that we've been tracking recently is that Lagos State Assembly spent 36.7 million naira on non-existing visitors' toilets. And this is according to the budget.
That's 6.7 million.
Yes. Non-existent toilets. And this is as listed in the budget.
You say we keep it track. Yeah, it's good. It's good. I'm sure you saw the 2 billion for fans. I'm sure you saw
and fragrances.
And 1.something billion used to fly private in a month. 200 million to pay Governor Someone's personal legal bills. Right? All these things are there. We've put it out. But you see what I've learned in this whole process.
Hold that thought. We need to go on a break. Lagos will be right back. Stay with us.
Millions of listeners trust us on Hard Facts. Whether it's politics, social issues, controversies, and trending stories. You know we're credible and objective.
It's Hard Facts with Maryann Okon on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
I keep my sunny side up.
The sunny side with joy.
It's not just the news or information.
It is more than you ask for.
What is our fee? When Lagos State says this organization is meant to help us out, and the people working there are not helping us out, you have a situation where people say it's normal.
More news and information coming up. We'll be back in a moment.
Access Holdings, they call all shareholders now rights issue time from 8th of July to 14th of August. You fit buy new shares for 19.75 naira each. If you get 2 shares already, you fit buy 1 extra. The offer, they open to people who hold access shares. Come join the access train for the full story about our rights issue. Sharply go www.theaccesscorporation.com. Everything they there, from the right circular to the people where they sell the shares, the bank where they collect, and our legal advisors there. Access Holdings, where the world connects.
Everything surely comes to an end. That dinner, that mushy movie, even that long traffic. But there's one thing that doesn't. Enjoy truly unlimited data with Airtel Unlimited Speed-Based Plans. Visit www.airtel.com.ng/HBB to buy now. Airtel, a reason to imagine.
Meals have a way of taking us on a journey. And when you add plenty of vegetables like efo, ugu, and season with the rich taste of Knorr seasoning cubes, even better.
So, go ahead and elevate your meals with more vegetables and the rich taste of Knorr cubes. Today, eat for good.
We fit protect your car, your savings.
I beg you, make you no let her dey boring. Make we make insurance. We lifestyle. You don't even hungry, you say, make your insurance give you pass waiting you dey collect. Make you no shake body at all. Because now good hands, you deal with Hares Insurance Group. Come even join with Boku insurance coverage. You fit also enjoy free awoof like chance to fit network up to 10% discount for hotels, gyms, spas, and for 30 store. What you like for the shop? Tickets to enter show events. Plus free materials to carry plan your tomorrow. So next time when person ask you, what your insurance company they give you self? Your answer supposed to be with Health Insurance Group. Of course, it plenty past just insurance.
To follow Choplet all these, sign up onto www.healthinsurancegroup.com. That na HEIRS. Here's Insurance Group. Simple life day here.
My people, make a knock on this story. Make a yarn in the things where I don't do for me. Quality appliance, quality performance in abundance, energy and constance. This one no be one chance. 70% electricity saving for your AC. 50% electricity saving for your freezer. Refrigerator, washing machine, Tamukuno the shake out or show. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
From the days where our feet shuffled to the beats of old school music, to the days where our feet did the zap. We have been there. We know the grooves of the times. We speak the language of every generation.
And like life, like the world of insurance, as a key player in general insurance since 1918, our vision and values are timeless. And today, as we officially transit to Rex Insurance, we emphasize our promise that whoever you are and whatever your business, we have been there and will always be there, no matter what life brings your way. Rex Insurance, you're not alone.
Looking for ways to save your data? It starts with your apps. Deleting unused apps helps, but there is more. Most apps have data saver modes. Activate them to control data usage. You can also go to settings to turn off auto updates. Lastly, close unused apps to save data when you ain't using your apps. These changes can make a big difference. For more information, visit your mobile operator's website or consumer.ncc.gov.ng for more helpful tips. Stay connected and enjoy smarter data usage. This message is brought to you by the Association of Telecom Operators and Nigerian Communications Commission.
In Nigeria, the weather can change in an instant, just like life itself. Even when you are caught in a heavy downpour or harmattan has left your skin dry, there's one thing that never changes: the restoring power of Vaseline Petroleum Jelly. Because we all know when harmattan strikes, if you are not protecting your skin, it cracks. So do your lips, and no one wants that. So use Vaseline Petroleum Jelly to keep your skin healthy, smooth, moisturized, and protected all day long, so you can embrace every season with confidence.
Tell me which kind thing Viva no fi wash away, 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 away. Jenna tomato paste or coffee stain your body. Viva go wash away, 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 away. Chicken for your clothes now, all you need for Viva to wash away, 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 away. Gentle for your pocket, gentle for your hand.
Bobo, filled with vitamins and minerals, is every child's favorite as it makes them sharp, leaves them bright, and keeps them healthy. The taste is awesome and the feeling is so indescribably special. It comes in different flavors and is available in shops nationwide. Yogo yogurt is creamy, yummy, tasty, and specially made with vitamins and minerals to keep every adult truly fulfilled. It contains probiotics for your good health and nutrition. It has different flavors and is available in shops nationwide. Products of Bobo Fruits and Beverages. Ooh la la.
With Money Master, Nigerians everywhere can now open accounts, send, collect, save, and deposit money from anywhere and to any bank with any kind of phone. We can also pay bills, buy airtime and data for ourselves and our loved ones, and so much more. Just dial *995# or download the Money Master PSB app today.
Money Master, the easy way to master your money.
If you always import to Nigeria, this jingle is a vibe.
We sabi for shipping, Ogonge logistics, where they support your business.
Hiroshi means simplified importation to Nigeria from the US, UK, and China by air and by sea. With Hiroshi, you get a dedicated customer support experience, easy tracking of your packages, and flexible payment in Naira or dollars. Hiroshi is super affordable. You can ship big or small packages and you do not pay any clearing fees. We ship it, clear it, and deliver to your doorstep anywhere in Nigeria. Now that you know, quickly visit www.hiroshi.com. That is www.heroshe.com. Create your free account and experience reliable importation with us. Hiroshi Logistics. Affordable shipping from the US, UK, and China to Nigeria.
Savings that bring you home.
Kids, this is our new home.
Dad, our new house is big.
Savings that support your joy.
Congratulations, you've become parents.
Savings that free your creativity.
Camera rolling and action.
Achieve much more with AXA Mansard Money Market Funds. Open an account today to enjoy competitive returns on savings. Track daily interest with ease. Prompt liquidation without penalties. Transact online and via USSD. Visit www.axamansard.com today.
Please read the prospectus and where in doubt, consult your stockbroker, fund or portfolio manager, accountant, banker, solicitor, or any other professional advisor for guidance before subscribing.
To cook correct food, they always give me joy. That's now why anytime where they cook like this, they always season them with no cubes. Come add correct vegetables inside. Ugu, tatasheo, shombo, onions. No one will know they put. Now he make my pikin them, they always enjoy my cooking.
Daddy, I never will. I want more.
You summer all your food with correct vegetables. Come season them with no cubes for that ubonge delicious taste. Today, chop better.
The I Beg to Differ Debate Tournament, the Nationals, is coming. August 12th in Lagos. Witness the brightest minds from across the country in a battle of intellect and eloquence.
Have you ever wondered if controlling resources will be the key to dismantling?
Yes, a child has not been properly academically satisfied.
Why has such person not also get experience, like your 5th point?
Experience fierce competition.
Peace cannot be kept by force. It's not because there's natural resources there.
Persuasive arguments.
I believe that through a balanced approach to religion and education.
Don't you think that such a person is old enough to decide?
And innovative thinking.
By 1985, the poverty level was below 46%.
If they don't have money for tuition, are you saying they are not going to be accountable?
Whether you're a debater or a spectator, mark your calendars for August 12, 2024. I Beg to Differ, the Nationals in Lagos, Nigeria. Get ready to be part of history. For sponsorship and other inquiries, call Lagos Larry Griffin 0706 827 1163, Shola Kolade 0907 173 3835, or send an email to info@nigeriainfo.fm. I Beg to Differ Students Debates Competition, the Tournament of Champions.
Welcome back to your #1 talk, news, and sports station. This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
Listeners, Millions of listeners trust us on Hard Fact. Whether it's politics, social issues, controversies, and trending stories, you know we're credible and objective.
It's Hard Facts with Maryann Okon on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Yes, it is Hard Facts, 99.3 Nigeria Info. I still have Gbadebo Rhodes-Vivour in the studio with me. We're still talking on the big Hard Facts about Lagos State and all the problems it's facing. You could join the conversation. We're live on facebook.com/Nigeria Info FM. We're also live on YouTube, Nigeria Info FM. If you're listening to us from outside of the country via mobile app or on our website, you could join the conversation via Skype. We are Nigeria Info FM on Skype, and we're also on WhatsApp. So if you have questions, comments, post on our live stream on X or Nigeria Info FM 99.3. Before we went on that break, I did ask you the question about accountability in Lagos State.
So I guess what I was trying to say was that I noticed that the first time the whole 2 billion for fans was highlighted, and when we talked about 200 million being used for Governor Sanwo-Olu's personal legal fees, they responded. But after that, you just see that they've gotten used to it. I think there was a shock that people will be able to unearth these things and bring it to public. So that caught them unaware. But they've just normalized it now. So you can bring out all the documents you want. You can write as many letters as you want. They are not affected by it. And why is this? Because you cannot shame the shameless. They did not come into office to account to you or to serve you.
Oh, come on.
No, that's
I'm the honorary special advisor to the governor on promises made. In other words, I'm SA for short. As a reminder, I remind him of all the promises he made. So you're telling me that Governor Sanwo-Olu and his administration is not an accountable government and they don't care about it. You're categorically saying that's on national radio.
Yes, and it's not just him. It goes all the way back to Governor Tinubu when Tinubu was governor. I mean, the DNA of accountability is not in this government.
Could that also be the fault of, because I mean, if we're not keeping them on their toes or holding their feet to the fire, could that also be our fault for letting that behavior hold sway?
Again, this is us passing the buck to the citizenry.
I'm just saying, I'm asking.
No, you see, you are what you are. If you are a transparent, accountable person, you will be transparent and accountable. People don't have to force you to be that. If you are somebody that's so pedantic about getting the best deal for your people, you will do that. And I'm sorry, but I have to say it. His Excellency Peter Obi has been consistent in this regard. You don't force him to get the deals that he gets for the people of Anambra State, right? It's a consistent thing. It is what he is who he is. And that's why he got so much support, because we're now in a situation where we've had leaders that have been so profligate with our resources that we don't have and are literally borrowing to fund their jeeps and to fund their 21 billion naira vice president's lodge, right? In the midst of so much suffering. So accountability also is something you're proud of, and you're proud of it because you're not stealing. You cannot be stealing and expect that same person to be accountable. Or let's say you cannot be over padding projects and expect that person to be accountable. Now, when you have politicians that are, step into the position of opposition and, holding the government accountable and putting out this information, then you see them come out and pretend to care. Because if it's genuine, they'll be consistent with it, right? The way they came out and said the 2 billion was a typo, a very expensive typo, but they came out to say the 2 billion that was supposed to have been spent on fans was a typo. Okay, so explain all the other ones. Explain, like you gave an example of some non-existent toilet that you spent 36 million on. Explain it. Explain why the governor is using about $1 billion plus in a month or a month and a half flying private based on their own documents. This is not, we did not go and investigate and find the document that was hiding in the governor's shelf. This is their own document. And it goes to show, when we keep talking about empathy, right? You look at what happened in Kenya after the citizens, stood up to the government, and the government by themselves are coming and say, we need to cut down on our expenses. We need to, because people are suffering in this situation. But constantly, government is constantly telling us to tighten our belts. Meanwhile, they continue spending. I mean, how can you spend 21 billion on one man's house? Right? And I'm talking at the national level, but even at the state level, you're buying cars every 4 years for 400 million naira. Where are you going to? What's in that car?
Well, they needed to be able to, get through the impassable roads that we have. I mean, the National Assembly did say that.
I have Jeep. I'm not spending 400 million on my Jeep. You understand? So, and what happened to the Jeep that you used before? Right? Let us be sensitive. Let us be. We need
the cars have to come like the Mercies. They're new every other.
People are not eating in this country. I don't know if you've seen what things are costing the market now for food. People are suffering.
I'm the common man. But you're speaking to me. I'm the common man. I can't afford bread anymore.
People are suffering. No, it's not funny. Politicians are almost like a social safety net where everybody calls because you are solving problems. So, I mean, I've seen people in need from when I started running in 2016 for local government chairman, when I ran for Senate. I've never seen anything like what I see today on a daily basis. Right?
Okay. Well, I want to bring Lagos into this conversation. Someone is bad mouthing me that stop making mouths. Who know you, special assistant, that you are lying to yourself.
is that you that
It's me. Person has bad belly for me. Anyway, join the conversation. We're live on Facebook and YouTube. Post your comments and your questions on our YouTube and Facebook live stream. Call 0201-277-0993 if you're a gentleman. If you're a lady, call 0201-465-7190 or join the conversation on WhatsApp 080-959-75805. On Skype, if you're calling from outside of the country, please call us via Skype on Nigeria Info FM. You have 60 seconds. Go straight to the point. Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, my name is Abraham.
Go ahead quickly.
Okay. First of all, I want to appreciate the point Gbadebo has actually pointed out. When he was contesting for governorship, I didn't even know he was this brave. I just saw his picture, and because of P2B, I gave him my support. Mm-hmm. But listening to him today for the first time, I didn't regret giving him my support. Just like he has pointed out, accountability is something that is inbuilt. You don't have it, you don't have it. You don't need anybody to force you to be accountable. And he has said it all. Not only in Lagos State, in Nigeria as a whole, we have not gotten anybody apart from Alex Oti of Abia State who is trying to change the narrative of what politics should look like. Apart from him, no other person. And in everything he's doing, you could see a trait of accountability. Thank you very much for telling Nigerians this.
All right, thank you very much. There's so many other people like Alex Oti, just so you know. Hello.
Hi, Maryann.
Yes, good afternoon.
Yeah, I greet you. And your guest.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
I don't think I get the name correct.
Well, it's okay. Yeah. Don't worry, we understand.
Right. So, interesting conversation so far and intelligent points. Your guests have been giving to us. So now I want to ask, please, sir, I want you to address this issue. Lagos State government, let me say federal government, and be warning citizens, who are on this, these flood areas to relocate to other areas. I begin to ask, is it easy, how one relocate, carry his building on his head and relocate where? No provisions. Where have they made provision for relocation?
Okay.
Then,
your time is up. Your time is up.
On that. Yes, I want you to address that.
All right, thank you. Gbadebo.
So again, holistic planning. First of all, places that are prone to flooding, that load line should not have been allowed. Development should not have been allowed there. Those are places that could have been what? Wetlands. Right? But in the case that says that we have this situation now, there should be camps set up. Not necessarily camps like IDP camps, but buildings where people can stay temporarily. And I've also talked about this when they're demolishing people's houses. There should be places where it's a process. So we are demolishing your house because you're on a canal. Okay. You can store your things here for 3 months. You can stay here for 3 months while you get your life together again and move on. And these are systems that should be in place. right? So when government is saying,
But why would I give you a place to stay when you knowingly built over a coastline or, a waterway?
because for me to even sand fill or to lay a foundation, government is complicit in it directly and indirectly. So
That's
you
debatable.
are complicit. There's nothing debatable about it.
It's debatable.
If you built, ask
So
anybody.
you're telling me that there are no people who have taken advantage of the fact that government looks the other way to build these houses, whether they had permits or not.
But did the government look the other way by choice or by incentive?
I have no clue.
Exactly. So the point is, you cannot build anything in Lagos State, and I'm telling you, in the bush of the bush, without somebody from the local government or the state government coming to meet you to ask for one thing or the other in the innermost estate. This is my industry. I'm telling you, you can be in the inside of any estate. These guys will come. They will find you. So it is not possible to first sand fill without government supervision or government approval in one way or the other, and then start to build from your foundation. Government has not come. You've done your first decking, you've done your roofing. Then after you have lived there for 17 years, government now come and see an illegality.
Someone says, I would want for you to answer this lastly before we wrap up.
All right.
But then I'll read that question last before we go. Hello.
Finally. Hi, Maryann.
Hi, Mrs. Oboli.
Waiting do your voice.
Go ahead. You have 60 seconds. Quickly.
Gbadebo, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
I don't know why they didn't vote for you, but please keep contesting. Thank you for the constructive criticism you've been doing.
Thank you.
I pray very soon I'll call you my own governor.
Amen.
Essay, stop holding brief for these people. I want you to speak quickly on the menace of street urchins and touts that we have presently.
Yeah.
Because I know if you are governor, you will not allow this.
Yeah.
Thank you and God bless you.
Okay, so for me, we have a government that has glorified creating thugs and thuggery, because these are their go-to people to be able to implement whether it is rigging or violence in elections. They are celebrated in society. They rub shoulders with the governors. They rub shoulders with the president even. So you have young men that are coming up and looking at these people like, I can be like these people. And then coupled with the high drug abuse in Lagos State, coupled with the poverty, coupled with the poor education system that does not retain as many people in the system, you have a lot of kids that are being raised by the street. Now, this creates a vicious cycle because you also start to have women that are raising children by themselves and still have to make a living, right? So you now have a situation where the fabric of society is being torn apart, and the powers that be glorify these young men that are on the streets. So for me, solutions must treat the drug abuse problem as a health problem, not a criminal problem. And this must be holistic at a local government level. You get these people, put them to a process where they get off drugs. Skill acquisition, informal, formal, at the local government level as well, even down to the ward level. And then ensure that any work that you are doing in any of these places, incentives are given to the company or the organization to hire people that are domiciled in that local government.
Okay.
So, and prioritizing education, informal education, formal education, prioritizing it, showing that you have value for it. I mean, look at the southwest of Obafemi Awolowo, Chief Obafemi Awolowo. This was a person that valued education. Look at the policies of Alhaji Lateef Jakonde. These are people that valued education. We did not see the bureaucracy that we are experiencing today.
You gave it a name already.
you must give it a name because it is a very powerful force, right? The bureaucracy that the APC has formalized and normalized in Lagos State in the last 2 decades. And you have a situation where these young men are wasting their lives on the corner, and these young men are going to raise kids.
Because I don't have time, I have 2 minutes on the clock. I want to quickly take this question that I said I was going to take last. Somebody on our YouTube live stream says, Olaya Latif says, Mr. GRV, would like to know how or ways in which your contribution, I'm sure he's saying, how do you intend to contribute to the development of the state?
Well, for me, I'm pushing out my micro health insurance program, going across the state, giving people access to this for free, so I can normalize diagnostic healthcare, data-driven medicine, because so many people are dying unnecessarily. They are treating malaria when they have typhoid, right? So normalizing people getting tests done, normalizing people being aware of the current state of their health, because if you can catch diseases early, it's a lot easier to fix, it's a lot cheaper to fix as well. So that has been ongoing since 2022, and I'm still doing that all across the state. We're also working with communities to see, because just because you don't get into office, the whole process of campaigning exposes you to so many problems, and if you can solve low-hanging fruits in the small capacity that you have, that is valuable as well, because at the end of the day, this whole thing is about service, right? So we're working with communities, the communities in Lagos State that there's no toilet there. The communities in Lagos State that don't have access to good water, even if they want to drill into the ground, they cannot get access to good water. So we're working with communities like that and several other things. When things were really, really hard, we gave out bags of rice and things like that. But how sustainable is that? It's so expensive.
Just palliative.
Just palliatives. And how are you going to do that every day? You can't.
Of course. It's not. It's impossible.
But we must do the little that we can. If everybody does that, the smallest thing you can, it will make a difference and help us get through this nightmare.
Well, I want to say thank you because of time. I want to say thank you. So come say even though so many questions here, so if you come be listening,
everybody can go and play my debates that Governor Sonlu was dodging. All of us were there, and we gave ideas and solutions to what we'll do if we're in position.
Well, I'll take a break. When we come back from this break, I'll say my goodbyes and I'll be thanking my guests for being in the studio. So stay with us. We'll be right back. It's still the big hard facts.
There's a reason why over 1 million people tune into Hard Facts every day. We discuss in-depth stories with sources behind the facts.
The Lagos State High Court has convicted, suspended the Chicago certificate story is never going away, is it? Show with stories for the day.
You hear diverse voices and opinions.
And she was meeting campaign with her husband, knowing that.
You should not feel happy because there is nothing to happy about.
Yeah, it's quite pathetic the way the country is going.
We distinguish each
News
story.
and sports after this.
Looking for ways to save your data? It starts with your apps. Deleting unused apps helps, but there is more. Most apps have data saver modes. Activate them to control data usage. You can also go to settings to turn off auto updates. Lastly, close unused apps to save data when you ain't using your apps. These changes can make a big difference. For more information, visit your mobile operator's website or consumer.ncc.gov.ng for more helpful tips. Stay connected and enjoy smarter data usage. This message is brought to you by the Association of Telecom Operators and Nigerian Communications Commission.
Here you go, dear.
Mom, you didn't add milk.
No need to. Taste it and see why.
Wow, but how?
Is it milky?
Very.
Is it creamy?
Yes.
That's Milo 3-in-1 milky and creamy for you. It's so milky. I don't need to add more milk.
I love it, Mommy.
Give your kids the new Milo 3-in-1. Milky and creamy. It's truly milky. It contains calcium to help your champ win every day. Milo, energy to go further.
Milo.
Mommy, my teacher said 90% of my brain will develop by the time I am 5.
Really? What else did she say?
She said I need iron in my food for my brain to grow well.
Oh, very true. And that's why I give you Cerelac Junior every day, which provides half of your daily iron needs.
And Cerelac Junior tastes so good.
Cerelac Junior with Iron Plus. It's all good, Mom.
What takes a plate of jollof rice to the next level of goodness? Is it when it is cooked with no seasoning cubes for that sumptuous taste? Or when you serve it with correct Nigerian salad, cabbage, carrot, lettuce, and a bit of kidney beans?
It's both.
Season your jollof with the rich taste of Knorr cubes and serve with plenty of vegetables. So, go ahead and elevate your meals. Today, eat for good.
In a world where connectivity reigns supreme, there's one name that stands tall. Introducing Huawei eKit, cutting-edge switches, routers, and access points, brought to you by TD Africa, the continent's force in tech distribution. Our next-generation networking solutions are engineered to redefine reliability, productivity, and affordability, helping small businesses scale rapidly. Join the millions who have made the switch to Huawei's eKit. Talk to TD Africa today. Email inquiries at tdafrica.com to get on board.
Get ready for Complex Nigeria 2024. The International Plastic Expo is back July 16th to 18th at the Landmark Center, Lagos. Meet over 75 global exhibitors. Start, expand, and diversify into the plastics industry. Don't miss out. Entry is free.
Imagine thinking you bought an unlimited data plan, but the next thing we hear is,
oh, this data has finished again.
Well, that's what happens when you don't buy a truly unlimited data plan.
Enjoy truly unlimited data with unlimited speed-based data plans from Airtel. Visit www.airtel.com.ng/HBB to buy now. Airtel, a reason to imagine.
You are listening to your number one station for talk.
Your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
I really wish we had more time because there's so many questions that our guest needs to answer, but unfortunately we have to go. Gbadebo Rhodes-Vivour is the former governorship candidate for the Labour Party here in Lagos State, and he's been our guest in the studio talking all things Lagos. Well, we're hoping that we can have you back in the studio sometime soon to have more conversations about Lagos State. And many people are saying, add to the development of Lagos, do what you can to help Lagos to also grow.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for coming on the show. We appreciate it. All right, Lagos, that's the show. I want to thank you all for being part of the conversation. Don't forget to follow Nigeria Info on all of his social platforms, on Twitter, Instagram, Threads, and of course, like, subscribe, follow us on YouTube so you don't miss any of our live streams. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Threads, MIMIEYO. That's Mimi Ayo. Or just search for Maryann Okon anywhere else. I'll see you tomorrow on Hard Facts. Have a good evening.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.